The ocean covers more than 70% of our planet, but humans have explored only a tiny part of it, which means most of Earth is still unknown. Beneath these waves are mountains taller than Everest, valleys deeper than any place on land, and worlds where sunlight has never reached. Down there, ships disappear. Strange sounds are recorded. Unidentified shapes are found, and creatures appear that don't look like anything from this world. The ocean doesn't just hide animals. It hides history. It hides disasters. It hides answers. And sometimes, it hides the truth forever. Tonight, we are not talking about myths. We are talking about real events, real recordings, real places, from waves that rise like walls to objects on the seafloor no one can explain, to sounds so powerful they crossed an entire ocean. These are the ocean mysteries that science still struggles to understand. Before we dive deeper, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell icon, because here, we explore the unknown every week. So turn down the lights, put on your headphones, and get ready, because once we go below the surface, the world you know ends. The Bermuda Triangle. Imagine flying over a calm blue ocean. The sky is clear, the instruments are normal, the radio is working, everything feels safe. And then, the signal fades, the compass begins to spin. The horizon looks wrong. Minutes later, there is nothing. No wreckage, no distress call, no explanation, only silence. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we enter one of the most feared ocean regions on Earth, the Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle is not marked on any official map. There are no warning signs in the sea. Yet, for more than 100 years, this area between Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico has been linked to strange disappearances. Ships, planes, entire crews, gone. One of the most famous cases happened in 1945. 5 U.S. Navy training planes flew into the sky on a simple mission. The weather was good. The pilots were experienced. Then their leader reported something disturbing. The compass was not working. The ocean looked strange. They could not find land. Their voices became confused, scattered, lost. Soon, all 5 planes vanished. A rescue aircraft was sent to find them. It also disappeared. No bodies were found, no planes were found, no clear answer ever came. Stories like this built the legend of the Bermuda Triangle. Sailors spoke of sudden storms that rose from nowhere. Pilots spoke of electronic failure. Some reported glowing lights over the water. Others claimed the sea itself looked like it was boiling. The media named it the Devil's Triangle. And fear grew. Some said the area hides a powerful magnetic force. Others believed it was a gateway, a hole in space, a place where time bends. Some went further and spoke of lost cities, ancient machines, or non-human watchers beneath the waves. But mystery is strongest when truth and unknown walk together. So, what is really happening there? The Bermuda Triangle sits in one of the busiest travel routes in the world. Thousands of ships and planes pass through it every year. It is also a place where weather changes quickly. Warm and cold currents meet. Storms can form fast and violently. There are also deep underwater trenches. Some areas drop suddenly to great depths. A sinking ship there would leave little trace. Another factor is navigation. In some places on Earth, compass readings behave differently. In parts of the Bermuda Triangle, true north and magnetic north can align in confusing ways. An untrained navigator, especially in the past, could easily drift off course without realizing it. Small mistakes over long distances become deadly. There are also methane gas releases from the seafloor. When large bubbles rise, they can reduce water density. In theory, this could cause ships to lose support and sink quickly. Some scientists believe this may explain rare, sudden losses. And then there is human error. Overconfidence, bad charts, weather misjudgment, mechanical failure. The ocean does not forgive mistakes. But even with all these explanations, something still feels unfinished. Because not all cases fit neatly. Some ships were found empty. Some planes sent strange last messages. Some disappearances happened in clear conditions. And no single natural reason explains them all. That is why the Bermuda Triangle never truly closes. Now, let's talk about the Bermuda Triangle today, the positives and the negatives. On the positive side, the region is no longer as dangerous as it once was. Modern GPS systems, satellites, and real-time weather tracking have greatly reduced navigation errors. Ships are better built. Planes are better monitored. Communication is constant. This means large-scale vanishings are now extremely rare. The area is also important for science. Oceanographers study currents there. Meteorologists track storms. Marine biologists explore deep ecosystems. The Bermuda Triangle has helped us better understand the ocean's power. It has also created awareness. Pilots and sailors are trained to respect this region, to prepare, to double-check, to never assume the sea is calm just because it looks calm. But the negatives remain. The ocean floor there is still largely unexplored. Many wrecks are lost forever. Storm systems still form fast. Hurricanes pass directly through this zone. The Gulf Stream current moves strongly, capable of carrying debris far away, hiding crash sites. This makes investigations difficult. Tourism and heavy traffic also increase risk. The more ships and flights, the more chances for accidents. And when accidents happen in deep, fast-moving water, answers are often taken by the sea. There is also the negative of myth overpowering truth. Sensational stories sometimes replace careful study. This can disrespect the real people who were lost. The fathers, the sons, the crews who never returned. So, what is the Bermuda Triangle right now? It is not closed, not restricted, not officially dangerous. Planes fly through it daily. Cruise ships pass through it every week. Cargo ships cross it constantly. And most of the time, nothing happens, which may be the most unsettling part. Because the mystery does not scream, it waits. My personal opinion? I do not believe the Bermuda Triangle is a supernatural trap. I do not believe it is a portal or a hidden base. But I also do not believe it is ordinary. It is a place where natural forces overlap in rare ways. Strong currents, sudden storms, deep waters, confusing navigation zones. When these combine, they create perfect conditions for disaster. And when disasters happen far from land, the ocean becomes the world's best secret keeper. I think the real mystery of the Bermuda Triangle is not that things disappear. It is that the sea can erase stories. No witness, no evidence, no closure, just coordinates and silence. Today, the present situation of the Bermuda Triangle is this. It is monitored by satellites. It is crossed by modern machines. It is studied by scientists. It is safer than ever before. Yet it remains unpredictable. Storms still rise suddenly. Currents still move wreckage away. Depths still swallow remains. Right now, the Bermuda Triangle stands as both a warning and a lesson. A warning that technology does not defeat nature, and a lesson that some places on Earth will always hold more questions than answers. Because even in the age of radar and GPS, the ocean still chooses what it gives back. And what it keeps. The Baltic Sea Anomaly. Imagine dropping into the deep, cold darkness of the Baltic Sea. No sunlight, no color, just black water and silent pressure. Your lights turn on, and the seafloor slowly appears. And then you see it. A massive, circular shape, perfectly round, with what looks like walls, lines, and a long trail leading to it like something once moved across the bottom. This is not a movie scene. This is the Baltic Sea anomaly. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we dive into one of the strangest underwater discoveries of modern times. In 2011, a team of deep-sea explorers was scanning the Baltic seafloor with the sonar. They were looking for shipwrecks. Normal work, normal day. Then the screen changed. A large object appeared, about 60 meters wide, rising from the seabed like a frozen shadow. Its shape was not random. It looked built, circular, with straight edges, and something like a ramp or path around it. The team stopped. They went back. They scanned again. The image did not disappear. When they later released the sonar picture, the internet exploded. People compared it to a spaceship, a sunken base, an ancient structure, even the famous Millennium Falcon from Star Wars. But jokes quickly turned into serious questions, because the object did not look like a normal rock. When divers finally went down, the mystery deepened. The surface was hard, rough, but in places smooth like melted stone. The rocks around it were broken, as if something heavy had pressed down. There were strange formations nearby that looked burned or crushed. Even more strange, their electronic equipment began to fail near the object. Cameras shut down. Satellite phones stopped working. Lights flickered. When they moved away, everything returned to normal. That detail alone fed the mystery. What could cause that? Some said it was a natural formation shaped by glaciers. The Baltic Sea was once covered in ice. Moving glaciers can carve stone into strange shapes. Pressure and friction can create smooth surfaces. In this view, the anomaly is rare, but natural. Others were not convinced. The object appeared too round, too symmetrical, too separate from surrounding rock. There was also the trail behind it. A long groove in the seabed, as if something heavy had slid across the floor before stopping. Rocks along this path were pushed aside. Some looked cracked, some looked flattened. This made people ask a different question. Did something crash here? Some imagined a fallen meteor. Others suggested a secret military object from the Cold War, a lost submarine, a testing platform, a forgotten device, and of course, some went further. They spoke of ancient technology, sunken civilizations, or something not from this world. But here is where the mystery becomes more serious. Samples taken from the site were analyzed. Some were ordinary stone. Some showed signs of strong heat exposure in the past. Volcanic-like material was found, even though no volcano exists in that exact area. This does not prove anything impossible, but it does leave space for doubt. The Baltic Sea itself is unusual. It is cold, low in salt, low in oxygen. This slows decay. It preserves things. Shipwrecks there remain almost untouched for centuries, which means if something unusual had fallen there long ago, it could still be waiting. Now, let's talk about the Baltic Sea anomaly today, the positives and the negatives. On the positive side, the discovery pushed new interest into deep-sea exploration. More mapping, better scanning, new underwater vehicles. It reminded the world how little we know about what lies beneath even shallow seas. It also showed how sonar can reveal hidden features. Large areas of the Baltic Sea are now better charted because of the attention this brought. Scientists continue to study the region's geology, not to chase aliens, but to understand how ice, pressure, and time shape the seafloor. But the negatives are many. The site is hard to reach. Cold water, poor visibility, strong pressure. Every expedition is risky and costly. That limits how much real study can be done. There is also the problem of exaggeration. Fake images, edited photos, false claims. These confuse the public and make serious research harder. Another negative is damage. Curiosity brings disturbance. The more people try to touch, cut, or remove parts of the site, the more original evidence may be lost forever. So, what is the Baltic Sea anomaly right now? It is not protected as a major site. It is not fully excavated. It is not clearly identified. It remains on the seabed, cold and dark, occasionally visited, mostly ignored. Its exact nature is still debated. Rock formation, glacial scar, impact site, human-made object. No final answer has closed the case. My personal opinion? I do not believe it is a spaceship. I do not believe it is an alien base. But I also do not think the story is finished. The anomaly clearly exists. It has shape. It has surrounding damage. It has unusual features that deserve serious, long-term study. Whether it is natural or not, it is rare, and rare things matter, because they teach us where our models fail. They show us that Earth still holds structures we do not yet understand. Today, the present situation of the Baltic Sea anomaly is this. It lies about 300 feet below the surface. Cold, silent, unmarked. It has been scanned more than touched, studied more than explained. Technology has improved since its discovery, but deep exploration is slow and expensive. Right now, the Baltic Sea anomaly remains exactly what it first appeared to be, a shape in the dark, a question on the ocean floor, and a reminder that even in modern times, we can still stumble upon something that does not easily fit into our world. The bloop sound. Imagine listening to the deep ocean, not with ears but with machines built to hear what no human ever could. The water is silent, endless, heavy. Then suddenly, a sound rises from the dark, not a click, not a crack, not a wave, but a massive, slow, rising roar that moves across thousands of kilometers. So powerful it is picked up by sensors over half the planet. This sound had a name, the bloop. Strangest sound mysteries ever recorded in the ocean. In 1997, underwater microphones placed across the Pacific were recording natural ocean noise. These sensors were not made to find animals. They were made to track submarines and deep-sea activity. They were sensitive, very sensitive. One day, they captured something no one expected. A sound so loud and so low in frequency that it could only have come from something enormous. Much louder than a whale, louder than any known sea creature. And it was not a single noise. It rose in pitch. It lasted nearly a full minute. And it moved. The signal appeared on multiple sensors thousands of miles apart, meaning whatever made it was not only powerful, it was traveling. When scientists mapped it, the sound seemed to come from a remote area of the South Pacific, near one of the loneliest points on Earth. A place far from land, far from shipping routes, far from help. They called it the bloop. At first, there was no explanation. The frequency was too low for known animals. The volume was too high. The movement pattern did not match earthquakes or volcanic activity. For a while, it became a perfect mystery. Some imagined a creature larger than a blue whale, a living giant moving through deep water, something ancient, something never seen. Others suggested unknown geological activity, cracking ice, deep-sea eruptions, pressure shifts in the ocean floor, but none fit perfectly. And because the deep ocean is the least explored place on Earth, the idea of an unknown life form did not feel impossible. The ocean hides mountains taller than Everest. It hides trenches deeper than any mine. It hides ecosystems we still discover by accident. So the idea that something huge could exist there was not crazy. Years later, scientists leaned toward an explanation involving massive ice structures breaking apart in the Antarctic. huge ice shelves cracking and dragging across the ocean. This process can release powerful low-frequency sounds that travel long distances. They even recorded similar sounds later, closer to Antarctica. This explanation fits many features of the bloop, but here's the part that keeps the mystery alive. The original bloop was never recorded again in the exact same way, not once. No identical sound, no repeat signal, no clear second event. Which means whatever made it happened only once. And that is rare. Now let's talk about the bloop today, the positives and the negatives. On the positive side, the bloop pushed ocean science forward. It showed how little we understand about underwater sound. It led to better listening systems, better analysis, better models of how sound moves through the sea. It also highlighted how active the ocean really is. Ice cracking, plates shifting, mountains growing, rivers flowing underwater. The sea is not silent. It is alive with noise we never hear. The bloop also helped scientists track large ice events and better understand climate changes affecting polar regions. So, in this way, the mystery improved real science. But the negatives are strong. The deep ocean remains mostly unmonitored. Sensors are few. Huge areas are completely unlistened to. If something rare happens, we may never hear it. The original data is limited. Technology in 1997 was advanced for its time, but weak compared to today. That means some details were lost. Resolution was low. Direction was estimated, not observed. Another negative is how quickly truth becomes story. The bloop is often used as proof of sea monsters or secret beings. This can distract from real research and reduce serious exploration to entertainment. And yet, even with all explanations, something remains uncomfortable. Because science explains patterns, it does not always explain singular events. So, what is the bloop right now? It is not active, it is not repeating, it is not ongoing. It exists as a recorded moment, a waveform, a memory stored in archives. Scientists classify it as a unique underwater acoustic event, likely natural, possibly ice-related. But no one can point to the exact crack, the exact iceberg, the exact moment. The ocean has moved on. My personal opinion? I believe the bloop was natural. I do not believe a giant unknown creature roams the Pacific making planet-level sounds. But I also believe the bloop exposed how blind we are beneath the surface. We did not hear the ocean until machines listened, and even then, we barely understood what it said. The bloop was not scary because it might have been a monster. It was scary because it showed how something enormous can happen on this planet, and we only notice it later. Today, the present situation of the bloop is this. It remains one of the strongest, strangest single ocean sounds ever recorded. It has no confirmed twin, no repeated pattern, no exact physical source. The area where it originated is quiet again. Sensors continue to listen. No second bloop has ever been captured. Right now, the bloop is not a creature. It is not an object. It is a question. A deep, fading echo that reminds us the ocean does not announce itself. It moves, it breaks, it changes, and sometimes it speaks once and never again. Yonaguni Monument. Imagine diving into clear blue water near a peaceful Japanese island. Sunlight follows you down. Fish move past. The seabed slowly appears, then the bottom suddenly changes. Flat walls, sharp corners, wide stone steps, long straight edges. It doesn't look like a reef. It doesn't look like broken rock. It looks like something built. This is the Yonaguni Monument. Today, we dive into one of the most debated underwater mysteries on Earth. In 1986, a diver searching for sharks near Yonaguni Island discovered something massive beneath him. When he returned with others, They saw it clearly. A giant stone structure rising from the sea floor. Terraces, platforms, stair-like shapes, straight lines. Some parts look like roads. Some look like walls. Some look like a pyramid cut flat. The main structure is huge, about the size of a football field. Its surfaces are smooth, its angles are sharp. It almost feels like an underwater city frozen in time. And immediately the argument began. Is this natural, or is this ancient? Supporters of the ancient theory say the shapes are too perfect, too straight, too organized. They point to right angles, symmetrical cuts, and what appear to be steps carved for walking. Some also mention markings that look like symbols and formations that resemble pillars. They believe Yonaguni may be the remains of a lost coastal civilization, drowned when sea levels rose after the last ice age over 10,000 years ago. If true, this would change human history. It would mean complex structures existed long before Egypt's pyramids. On the other side, many geologists say Yonaguni is natural. They explain that the region's sandstone breaks in straight layers. Earthquakes crack it into blocks. Ocean currents smooth surfaces. Over thousands of years, this can create sharp, stair-like formations. In this view, Yonaguni only looks man-made because the rock breaks cleanly. Nature, given time, can look very human. But even some scientists admit something unusual. Certain shapes intersect at odd points. Some appear separated from surrounding rock. There are isolated blocks nearby, like monuments. Some features don't fully match common reef or cliff erosion. So the debate continues, and Yonaguni remains caught between two worlds, one of geology, one of forgotten history. Now, let's talk about Yonaguni today, the positives and the negatives. On the positive side, the site is real, visible, and accessible. Divers can visit it. It is mapped, photographed, studied. It has brought attention to underwater archaeology and marine geology. It has also helped local tourism. Dive teams from around the world come to see it. This has brought jobs, awareness, and protection efforts. The monument is also a powerful reminder that coastlines change. Huge areas of land were once dry and are now underwater. That alone makes Yonaguni important, even if it is fully natural. But there are negatives. The site is not officially recognized as an archaeological ruin. This means protection is limited. Anchors, careless divers, and storms can damage the formations. Strong currents make exploration dangerous. This limits serious long-term study. Only skilled divers can reach it safely. There is also the problem of extreme claims. Some stories go too far. They replace careful observation with fantasy. This makes serious research harder to fund and easier to dismiss. Another negative is erosion. Whether natural or man-made, the structure is slowly wearing away. The sea never stops shaping stone. So what is Yonaguni right now? It is not a confirmed ancient city. It is not dismissed as ordinary reef. It sits in between. It remains an underwater formation that no explanation has fully closed. My personal opinion? I don't believe Yonaguni is a fully built city like Atlantis. But I also don't think it is just a random pile of rock. I believe nature created the main form, and humans may have shaped parts of it. A coastline platform, a ritual space, a modified natural terrace. History is full of places where people carved meaning into existing stone. Yonaguni feels like one of those. Today, the present situation of the Yonaguni monument is this. It rests about 5 to 25 meters below the surface near Yonaguni Island. It is dived, filmed, and slowly studied. It is not protected like a major ruin, but it is respected by the diving community. Some features are becoming clearer with better cameras. Others are slowly fading under water pressure and plant growth. Right now, Yonaguni remains exactly what draws people to it. Not proof, not fantasy, but a question written in stone beneath the sea, a place where nature and possible memory overlap. And until the ocean gives up more of its past, Yonaguni will continue to wait in silence just below the waves. The deep-sea creatures we haven't found yet. Imagine standing at the edge of the ocean at night. The water is black, the surface looks calm, but beneath it, the largest living space on Earth is moving. We have mapped Mars better than we have mapped our own deep oceans. And that means something simple and something terrifying. Most deep-sea creatures have never been seen. But about an entire hidden world, the deep-sea creatures we haven't found yet. The deep ocean begins where sunlight dies. Below about 200 meters, the world changes. Colors disappear. Plants stop growing. Pressure rises. Cold tightens everything. And yet, life continues. Strange life. Creatures with no eyes. Creatures with glowing bodies. Creatures that look like glass. Creatures that swallow prey larger than themselves. And here's the part many people don't realize. Almost every time humans send a serious mission into the deep sea, we discover something new. New species, new shapes, new behaviors. This means discovery is not rare down there, it is normal. Scientists estimate that we have identified only a tiny percentage of ocean species, especially in the deep. Some believe over 90% of deep-sea life is still unknown. That is not a mystery of the past, that is a mystery happening right now. Deep-sea cameras have filmed animals that don't fit into clear groups. Long, ribbon-like beings drifting like smoke. Transparent creatures with glowing organs. Fish with jaws like traps. Soft things that don't look like animals at all. Some creatures appear once and are never seen again, which raises a serious question. If this is what we see by accident, what have we missed completely? The deep sea has conditions that exist nowhere else. Crushing pressure, near freezing cold, total darkness, chemical vents that release poison and heat, and yet, around these vents entire ecosystems live. Worms with no mouths, crabs with no eyes, bacteria that turn chemicals into energy, life that does not need the sun, life that feeds on Earth itself. These places feel less like oceans and more like alien planets. Now think about size. The blue whale is the largest animal known to ever exist, but it lives near the surface. The deep ocean has far more space, vast mountains, endless plains. Trenches deeper than Everest is tall. It is not crazy to think there are animals larger than anything we have recorded, living far below where our machines rarely go. Not monsters, but undiscovered life. There is also behavior we don't understand. Massive objects moving on sonar, sounds with no source, bioluminescent waves that roll across the water like silent lightning. Every few years, something washes ashore that no one can easily identify. And each time we are reminded we don't know what's down there. Now let's talk about this mystery today, the positives and the negatives. On the positive side, technology is finally catching up. New deep-sea robots can dive farther, stay longer, see clearer. They can film without crushing, sample without destroying, listen without interfering. Every year, new species are named. This means the unknown world is slowly becoming known. The deep sea is also teaching us about life itself. How organisms survive without light. How cells resist pressure. How biology adapts to extremes. These discoveries help medicine, materials science, even space exploration. Because if life can live there, it might live elsewhere too. But the negatives are heavy. Exploration is slow and expensive. One deep-sea mission can cost millions. That means only a few places are ever studied. At the same time, humans are already damaging the deep ocean. Plastic sinks, chemicals drift, noise spreads, mining plans target the seabed, trawling scrapes ancient ecosystems. We are changing a world we barely understand. Some species may vanish before we ever see them. Another negative is fear replacing knowledge. The deep sea is often turned into horror. This can distract from real science and real protection. Yes, it is strange, but it is also fragile. So, what is the deep sea right now? It is mostly unexplored, mostly unmapped, mostly unknown. Less than a small fraction of the deep ocean floor has been visually studied. Entire regions have never been visited by any machine or human. That means thousands, maybe millions of species are still out there, living, moving, feeding, and completely unseen. My personal opinion? I don't think there are movie monsters waiting to attack ships. But I strongly believe there are large, complex, beautiful creatures we have not yet discovered. Not because they are hiding, but because we are not looking deeply enough. The deep sea is Earth's greatest wildlife reserve. Not protected, not understood, and barely entered. Today, the present situation of unknown deep sea life is this. New species are being discovered every year. New zones are being reached. Cameras go deeper. Robots last longer. But at the same time, pollution and mining plants are expanding faster than exploration. Right now, humanity knows more about distant planets than about its own deepest home. Which means this mystery is not ancient. It is active, it is alive, and somewhere, far below the waves, in total darkness, something is moving that no human has ever seen. Yet. Lost City of Atlantis. Imagine an island so powerful, so advanced, and so rich that it ruled the seas. Its cities shined with metal. Its harbors were filled with ships. Its people believed their world would last forever. Then, in a single terrible moment, the ground shook, the sea rose, and the island vanished, swallowed by the ocean. No bodies, no ruins on land, only a story. This is the legend of the lost city of Atlantis. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we step into the most famous lost ocean mystery of all time. Atlantis first appears in the writings of the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, over 2,000 years ago. He wrote about a great island beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which many believe means beyond the Strait of Gibraltar. According to him, Atlantis was not a small place. It was a powerful civilization with advanced buildings, organized cities, and a strong navy. Plato described huge circular canals, massive walls, temples covered in shining metal, a central palace, and a people who were once wise, but slowly became greedy and proud. And then came the end. He wrote that in one day and one night of misfortune, Atlantis was destroyed by earthquakes and floods and sank beneath the sea. Since then, the world has never stopped looking for it. Some believe Atlantis was a real place that inspired Plato's story. Others believe it was only a lesson, a made-up tale meant to warn people about pride and power. But here's the thing, Plato named details. He described layouts, distances, structures, natural features, and that made people wonder, why be so specific if it was only a story? Over the years, Atlantis has been found in many places, near Greece, near Spain, near the Caribbean, near Antarctica, near the Bahamas. Some link Atlantis to the volcanic destruction of the island of Thera, also called Santorini, around 1600 BC. That explosion was one of the largest in human history. It destroyed cities. It caused giant waves. It broke a powerful sea culture. Others point to strange underwater shapes near Bimini in the Bahamas, known as the Bimini Road, where stone blocks lie in long, straight lines beneath shallow water. Some believe Atlantis could be in the Mediterranean, buried under mud. Others say it lies in the Atlantic, far deeper than divers can reach. Every theory has something, and every theory has problems. No site has been confirmed. No ruins have spoken clearly, and that is what keeps Atlantis alive. Because the ocean is the perfect place for a city to disappear. 70% of Earth is water, much of it unexplored. Coastlines have changed many times. After the last ice age, sea levels rose and flooded huge areas of land where people once lived. That means sunken cities are not fantasy. They are fact. We have found drowned villages, sunken ports, lost roads, submerged temples. So, the idea of a much older coastal civilization now under the sea is not impossible. What makes Atlantis different is not that it might be lost, it's that it is remembered, and memory can be more powerful than stone. Now, let's talk about Atlantis today, the positives and the negatives. On the positive side, the search for Atlantis has pushed underwater exploration forward, sonar scanning, deep-sea robots, submerged mapping. Many real ancient sites have been discovered because people were looking for something else. Atlantis has also inspired science, history, and imagination. It pushed people to study ancient texts more carefully. It reminded the world that early civilizations may have been more complex than we once believed. It also teaches a strong idea. Civilizations can fall, not slowly, but suddenly, and that matters. But there's a negative side. The biggest problem is false claims. Many places have been announced as Atlantis with no strong proof. Edited images, natural rock shapes, broken ruins from known cultures. This has made serious research harder. When everything is Atlantis, nothing is. Another negative is damage. Some underwater sites have been disturbed or looted by people chasing legends instead of protecting history. There is also the loss of focus. The story of Atlantis sometimes becomes more important than real drowned cultures that we can actually study and learn from. So, what is Atlantis right now? It is not a confirmed place. It is not a proven city. It exists in three forms: an ancient story, a global search, and a question. Scientists today do not list Atlantis as a known lost city, but they do accept that large parts of ancient coastlines are now underwater. They continue to explore submerged landscapes in the Mediterranean, Atlantic, and beyond. Every few years, new underwater ruins are found, and every time, people ask the same thing. Could this be it? My personal opinion? I do not believe Atlantis was exactly as Plato described. I don't believe there was a perfect super city with magical power. But I do believe Plato's story may be based on something real. A powerful coastal culture, a great natural disaster, a memory passed down. Over time, stories grow, details change, lessons are added, and history slowly turns into legend. Atlantis may not be one city, it may be many, many drowned places, many lost people, many erased worlds, combined into one name. To me, Atlantis is not about finding golden walls. It is about realizing how much human history the ocean is already holding. Today, the present situation of Atlantis is this. There's no agreed location, no confirmed ruins, no official discovery. But underwater exploration is increasing. New scans are mapping ancient coastlines. Robots are reaching deeper. Researchers are studying submerged landscapes that were once dry land. and each discovery adds a little more truth to the idea that advanced human life once lived where waves now move. Right now, Atlantis is not a place you can visit. It is a mystery that moves. It shifts as the sea is studied. It changes as knowledge grows. And it remains powerful because it touches something deep in us, the fear of losing everything, the hope of finding it again, because somewhere beneath the oceans, entire chapters of human history are still waiting, silent, buried, and unknown. Rogue waves. Imagine sailing across a calm ocean. The sky is clear, the waves are small. The ship moves gently like it always has. Then, without warning, the horizon rises, not slowly, not like a normal wave, but like a wall. A moving wall of water higher than a building, rushing straight toward you. No storm, no time, no escape. This is a rogue wave. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we face one of the ocean's most terrifying real mysteries, waves that appear from nowhere and disappear just as fast. For centuries, sailors told stories about massive single waves that came out of clear seas. They spoke of water mountains, of ships lifted and broken, of sudden destruction. But for a long time, scientists did not believe them. They said such waves were impossible, that the ocean could not create one wave so much larger than the rest, that these stories were fear, confusion, or exaggeration. Then, in 1995, something changed. An oil platform in the North Sea was hit by a wave over 25 meters high. Instruments recorded it. Cameras saw it. Steel was bent. Windows were destroyed. The wave was real. And it stood alone. This proved rogue waves exist. Not as legends, but as natural events. Rogue waves are not tsunamis. Tsunamis are caused by earthquakes and move across the ocean at high speed with long, low waves. Rogue waves are different. They are sudden, steep, tall, and short-lived. They rise from normal waves and collapse within minutes. Some appear like tall towers. Others curl and crash like exploding cliffs. Some ships have described them as holes in the ocean followed by a vertical wall. So, how do they form? The truth is, we still don't fully know. Scientists believe rogue waves are created when multiple waves combine their energy at the same moment. Currents push against wind. Waves line up. Pressure focuses. And suddenly, energy that was spread across the ocean becomes one massive surge. It is rare, but not impossible. Certain regions are more dangerous. Areas where strong currents meet powerful winds, near major shipping routes, around the Cape of Good Hope, the North Atlantic, the Southern Ocean, places sailors have feared for centuries. This means rogue waves may explain many mysterious ship losses in the past. Ships that vanished in fair weather. Vessels found broken with no storm damage around them. A single rogue wave could crush a bridge, flood an engine room, tear containers from decks, snap masts, and then disappear, leaving no sign except wreckage. Now, let's talk about rogue waves today, the positives and the negatives. On the positive side, rogue waves are now recognized. They are studied. Satellites track wave height. Ships are designed stronger. Oil platforms are built higher. Warnings are better. This knowledge saves lives. Modern ships are tested against extreme wave impact. Navigation systems monitor dangerous zones. Scientists use radar and space imaging to watch for sudden changes. We no longer call sailors liars. We call them witnesses. But the negatives are heavy. Rogue waves are still unpredictable. They cannot be forecast like storms. They form too fast, too suddenly. By the time one is detected, it is already there. Climate change may also be increasing ocean energy. Stronger winds, changing currents, more unstable seas. This could raise the chances of extreme wave events. there's also human risk. Shipping traffic is growing. Offshore platforms expand. Ocean tourism increases. The more we move on the sea, the more we meet its extremes. Another negative is damage. Rogue waves are believed to have sunk large ships and damaged even modern vessels. Some container ships today show signs of sudden extreme impact without recorded storms. The sea does not always warn. So, what are rogue waves right now? They are real, they are measured, they are rare, but they are still not predictable. They are not tracked live. They are not forecast days ahead. They are understood in theory but not controlled. They exist as sudden events, nowhere, then everywhere. My personal opinion? I think rogue waves are one of the purest reminders that nature does not follow our comfort. We built ships believing the sea had limits. The sea quietly proved us wrong. Rogue waves show that even calm oceans can hide stored power. That energy can organize itself without asking permission. That danger does not need noise. It only needs timing. To me, rogue waves are not just water. They are moments when the ocean stops acting like a surface and starts acting like a force. Today, the present situation of rogue waves is this. They are included in ship design models. They are watched by satellites. They are respected by sailors and engineers. But they are still not fully understood. Research continues. New sensors are being deployed. Better prediction systems are being built. Right now, rogue waves remain one of the ocean's most dangerous secrets. Not because they are everywhere, but because when they appear, they give no second chance.